Okay, now today we're going to look at 4 examples in the meshing. So just a recap of what you learned. So all these skills, I think you already know. Only we will play with some parameter in the meshing. All right. So we look at a four example. First one is a can combustor. Second one is a single body inflation. The third example will be mesh control and method. The fourth one is the size function. So you already download the 4 file in the Moodle. So the first example, we're going to look at something look like this. There is a can combustor. So if you do a cross section, so what does a can combustor do is that you have an inlet from below. So the inlet below the total surface and so, and then you go into here. So there are 6 small field inlet at this area. So later we're going to do some setting in the mesh platform to hide some of the surfaces here, and then so that we can go and click these 6 small surfaces here. And then we have a 6 side inlet over here. So we have inlet here, and then secondary inlet here, then the side wall inlet here. So we have 3 type of inlet, and then 1 outlet at the top of the combustor here. Okay, so this is our orientation of our object. So go ahead, we jump into ANSYS. So we will save project first. So we save projects in your working folder. So go and find your working folder and save this one, maybe your can combustor. All right. Okay, I save this project as can. Then after that, today we're going to focus on mesh. So we're going to roll down the toolbox on the side there. We're going to focus on mesh. So we're going to pull in the mesh function only. So go to mesh at the left-hand side, double click. The mesh folder will, the mesh program will appear in the project schematic, and maybe rename as can also, right? Are you able to follow up to this stage?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me know if I'm too fast or your computer still loading. Let me know. So what we're going to do is that we will go to geometry here, right click. We will go to design modeler. So right click, go to design modeler. So your design modeler will load for a while. Then we're going to import the mesh file that you just download from Moodle. Okay, so I believe your modeler also opened up now.
Done, sir. Done.
Okay, so we go to file and import the combustor. All right, you go and import the external geometry file, import external geometry files, and then go and find the can combustor inside there. There's a combustor.x underscore t. This is a mesh file. Okay, so this is click this one and then open. So you won't see anything in the graphic window here because there's no parts and body generated. So you need to ask the computer to generate the body for you. So go ahead and go top of the ribbon here. Just click generate, or you can go to the import there, right click, generate also can, or press F5 also can. So as long as you generate the parts. So as you can see, once you click the generate, you will see the T outline here. Will give you 5 parts and 5 body. So you have 5 solid body here. All right. As you click through on the graphic window at the right hand side, you will see that it's changing according to the body and parts that you selected. Okay. All right. Have you done this one?
Done, sir.
Okay, good. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to import, we're going to we're going to create a new geometry from the import file here. So we were going to click the body selection here on the top, the box, green box there, click this one. And then you click the file body here. All right. And then right click. Sorry. Okay. To select the 5 parts in the window here, what you can do is that you hold down the left. Okay, hold on. Before that, you need to do some setup because you go to here, select mode on the top here, just beside the box, drop down. You will see that you have you're able to do two kind of selection. And currently, my program is at a single select. Now because I want to select all the bodies, all the solid body, I need to use the box select. So I activate the box select, and then I press down my left mouse, and then drag to another side, lower column of the graphic, and then I let go. So you're going to select all the 5 parts body in the window here. So it will be different if you only drag from the right to top of the bottom here. So what happens if you only drag from the bottom right? You press down the left mouse button and then you drag from bottom, and you're not selecting the whole thing. You see what happened? You will only select part of it. So again, what we want is to select all the bodies. So make sure you're selecting all the 5 body, and then right click. You're going to right click, and then you go to select form new parts. This one. Okay, click form new parts. So you will see that on the tree here, you have a 1 parts over here. Okay, just now you don't have part. Now you have a new part there. Okay, so this is how you generate the thing. Okay, I want you to save the file at this moment. Save the file. Okay, make sure you already select the 5 part, and then you generate 1 new parts there. Okay, then you save the mesh, and then you close. Have you done that?
Done, sir.
Okay, close the modeler. Close the modeler. So in the project window, you will see that geometry is tick, means you're already done. Now we go to the mesh environment. So go here, right click, edit, or you can just double click. So mesh, then the meshing solver will open up shortly. So it depends on the computer speed. Okay, so I have my geometry ready. Let me know once your file is ready also.
Done, sir.
Okay, now we're going to look at what can this at the bottom, the axis can help us. So if you move your mouse very near to the axis there, you'll see a black color arrow was created. Opposite direction of Z, you will see a negative Z. If you move down, you see negative Y. If you move to the opposite direction of X, you'll see negative in the black color. Okay, so just play around with these all these black color things. It means that you will go along the axis that you click. So what happens if you click the green ball here, click the green ball, you will view in the ISO view automatically. Okay, so this is how you control your window, geometry window. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, now I want you to rotate your object to this orientation. Okay, to this orientation. And then I want you to zoom in this portion, right? So you just go and there's a magnifying glass there. So box glass, I will just hold down my left mouse and then I drag and I let go. I want to look at this 6. Later, I need to select the six hole here. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Later, I need to choose this 6. So I just press escape to change my mouse icon. Oh, sorry, I need to, yeah. Okay, then I go to, after that, you go and press the face selection. All right. Then you need to select the 6 faces. How you select the 6 faces? You just hold down the control key. Hold down the control key and then you click these 6 faces. Okay. Make sure these 6 faces are selected by holding down the control key. Have you done?
Wait, sir.
Have you selected the 6 faces? Or you haven't opened up the mesh?
Wait, sir. I'm selecting the.
Are you seeing this? You're already seeing this diagram, right? This object, correct?
Yes, yes. Sir, which one I have to select? The green color one.
If you zoom in, you will see 6 boxes there.
Yeah, I am selecting.
Yeah, so go and select these 6 faces. Press down the control key. Press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Done.
Okay, then after that, you right click. You're going to create a name selection. Create name selection. So this one we will name as fill inlet. Because this is the fill coming in. So fill underscore inlet. Okay, save as fill inlet, then press OK. Let me know when you're done.
Done, sir.
Okay, so if you expand the project tree here, you will see one fill inlet selected. The second one, we will select air inlet. So where is the air inlet? Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? It is this surface bottom here. So again, go ahead and select these 8 surfaces by holding down the control key and press with your left mouse button. Go ahead and select these 8 surfaces. And then right click, create name selection. This one we'll name as air inlet. Okay, press OK. Once you're done, you let me know. So you should be seeing on the left hand side, the 3 window there. You see you are having a fuel inlet and air inlet now.
Done, sir.
Okay. Next, you rotate your object. There's 6 hole by the side of the body here. Right. You need to select all these 6 hole, and then name it as secondary A inlet. So go ahead and select the 6 surfaces. Hold down the control key and left click. And then rotate with your mouse. Okay. So once you select the 6 surfaces, go ahead and right click, create name selection. This one you name as secondary air inlet. Okay, save as secondary air inlet. Press OK. Once you're done, you let me know.
Done, sir.
Okay, so you should be seeing 3 name selection on your left hand side, inside the 3. Fuel inlet, air inlet, secondary air inlet. Then there's the one on the top of the square here. So this surface is your outlet. So go ahead and highlight this one. And then right click, name this section as outlet. Then press OK. So you're having four name here: fuel inlet, air inlet, secondary, and outlet. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Now the next step, we're going to hide. We don't want to see the air inlet here. You want to hide this air inlet, and then we're going to select the 6 spiral surface inside there. So we're not able to see the 6 spiral correctly. So we want to hide the surface. So you can rotate your object accordingly. And then what you do, you go to the 3 over here. You press air inlet. You press air inlet, and then in the property window here, you will see that you can change something. Definition, visible, change to no. Then you will hide this surface. Change it to no. You will see that the surface was hidden. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we're going to select the surface inside there. Yeah. Okay. Now, before we select, because we don't want to keep repeating select here and there, so we want to do some option. So go to the tools on the top. Tools option. Go to tools option, and then you go to mechanical option. Okay, tools option. Then you will see this window. Expand the mechanical option. Then you go down to the graphic here. Mechanical graphic. Then you go to the right hand side. So you'll see that the highlight selection here. Highlight selection, this one, was chosen to both sides. So by default, it's a single side. So you need to change it to both sides. Meaning we only need to click once. We don't need to click both surfaces. Okay, make sure you do this setting. If you have a repeated area that you want to select. So you go to Tools, Option, then inside Option, expand the mechanical, go to Graphic, go to Highlight Selection, choose both sides. Then press OK. All right, the next one, we're going to continue to use face option. So make sure you select the face selection. And we're going to highlight the zoom in. We're going to select the not six, we're going to select the 8 surfaces or 8 things here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So you're going to same process. Hold down the control key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I'm selecting the 6 object here. Okay. Then right click. We don't want to see this because you want to select something behind the object. So at the moment, you go to the graphic window there, right click, and then you hide faces.
Wait. So total 6 pages, is it?
There are 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, done, sir.
Okay. After you select the 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8. Then we don't want to see this one. So right click, go and hide faces. Select hide faces. Okay. You done?
Done, sir.
Okay. Then we're going to select the 4 internal surface. Select this 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, the one that you see with the color. Hold down the control key, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right click, we're going to name this one as internal. Create name selection. These 4 surfaces we name as internal. Okay, then press OK. So in the 3 window here, you have 5 objects: fill, inlet, air inlet, secondary air, outlet, and internal. Are you seeing this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we're going to activate back what we hide just now. So you go to air inlet, just go to the 3 there, left click, and then in the window there, we want to change back the visible to yes. Then we go to the space here, or we geometry window here, right click, and then we want to show back all the hidden object or hidden faces just now. Just right click, show hidden faces. So it will automatic recover what you have been hidden just now. So basically, these are the steps that you normally will do if you have a complex object. Have you done?
Done, sir.
Okay, now we're going into the mesh domain. So I want you to click the mesh in the 3 here, project 3, left click, and then you go to the property window below it. You go to the mesh property window there. So in here, you will see the under the default, the physical preferences. By default, my one is mechanical. It depends on your last usage. So you just expand this one. There are lots of selection you can choose here. Okay, we want for this example, we will choose CFD. We choose CFD, and then the solver preference we will change to CFX. We will not use Fluent, but we will use CFX. So we have changed the mesh program to focus on CFD, and then the solver that we're going to use is using CFX. Have you done these 2 changing?
Thanks, sir.
Okay, then you roll down. You want to change something in the sizing. So go roll down, expand the sizing here. So you can see that if you change the CFD, CFX, the size function will become curvature. You automatic set to curvature. Later in another example, you'll see when we set to different things, it will change to automatic change. So for CFD, because it's a fluent dynamics simulation, so it will automatic identify you need to use curvature. Then the next one, we're going to look at, you roll down, okay, close the sizing, you go to the inflation, open up the inflation window.
Wait a second. Just now the sizing, right?
Mm.
I couldn't go inside, right?
Sizing, you don't need to change anything. I just mentioned curvature.
Okay.
Yeah, important thing is that when you change your physical preferences in CFD and then the solver you use CFX, it will automatic go and choose curvature.
Okay, sir.
This is what I want to emphasize. All right, then you go to inflation now. So under inflation, there is automatic inflation at the first row here. By default, there's none selection. So I want you to drop down the window here. Choose program control. Choose program control for inflation. Now, what does it mean if you choose the program control? It means that if you choose program control, the all faces in the model here are selected for inflation boundaries that follow all the parameter here, except all the name selection that you just name. So it will process other surfaces that other than these 5 that you name in the tree here. You understand?
Understand.
So it's important to, if you want to purposely, or you want to focus specific on the name selection to do setting, you need to activate the name selection and then input what are the surface you want to manually control. If it's not inside this, for example, it's not inside these 5 surfaces that you select, other surfaces, it will use inflation setting that you set inside here if you choose program control. Okay, yeah. So it's important to know what you want to mesh. Okay, then the next one is going to generate mesh. You just go to the mesh there, right click and generate mesh. So you will run the mesh for you. Okay, I've done for my mesh. So you just rotate a little bit your object, or you just, if you're lazy, you just go to the right hand side corner there. There's a green ball or a little bit of blue ball there. So click the blue ball, it will view in the ISO view lah. Okay. So but I like this view lah. So I just rotate accordingly to my preference. As long as you see in the 3D dimension, then you are fine. Okay. Have you done? Okay, now the next step, I want to teach you something on the section plane. So, okay, let's do one section plane. So we're going to cut this object into half. So what I do is that, let me choose one section. Okay, okay, choose okay, maybe these faces lah. Okay, I would use the negative Z. I will use the negative Z axis so that the round surfaces is facing me directly. So are you in the same page like what I see here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how to use the section plane? On my window here on the left hand side, I have a section plane toolbar. If not, on the top of your window there, beside generate mesh, there is a new section plane also. Are you seeing this one, this icon on your computer? Are you able to find this new section plane? Are you able to see this button?
My side here do not.
On the top of the toolbars there.
Okay, which icon, sir? Oh, that one is it? Ah, okay, sir.
Are you seeing it? So I want you to press that button to activate that. Now you're creating one section plane. So it's just as direct or simple. You just go to the window there, and then if let's say I want to cut this object half, I just need to draw a line with my mouse. So how do? I just, let's say I want to cut this into half. So I just press down my left mouse and then I drag down. I see a gray line, I let go. So I already cut my object into half. Are you able to generate the same thing?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, now I want you to rotate the 3D model. Like you're seeing something you cut into half.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is how you check your meshing, internal meshing. Every time you run a mesh, so you'll see the topography of your mesh profile. So are you able to see the toolbar like mine on the left corner? This one? Section plane
Yes.
toolbar. Yes, so I want you to go ahead and you see a diamond symbol there?
Yeah.
I want you to click that diamond symbol.
Okay.
So something happened to your graphic window.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. Now, okay, hold on. Okay, so there is hold on. So if you go to the top there, you can see the mesh control and mesh edit here. Are you able to see these three icons?
Yes.
Okay, so I go to mesh control here, and then maybe I choose method. No, not this one. Sorry. Sizing, pitch, not pitch, inflation. Okay. I just review this one. So it is one function with this. Try to find out. Hold on. There's one function. Show. Okay, never mind. Insert. Okay, never mind. I think it's sufficient if I really show you this one. So it means that here you're able to see whether the complete mesh surfaces if you run the calculation. So actually it's not a direct slash like this one. So when you do calculation, it will run in the 3D topography like what you see on the screen here. Okay. Okay. we have done for the first example. So go ahead and save this file if you want, right? So this show you how to make control of the mesh and all this. So what you need to do is just maybe you can update and so on. Yeah. Okay, so we have done for the first example. You can close the mesh window, and then you can just click a new project. It will ask you to modify. You can press no or yes lah. I will not save it lah. I just demo it to you. Okay, so we start with the second one. So you ready for the second one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the second one we're going to look at the inflation setting. So go and I'm going to save a new project. So this one I name as inflation. Okay, so save. And then again, we're going to call the single mesh program. Let's double click single mesh. This one I name as inflation. Okay. Oh, sorry. This one you don't need. You don't need this one. I will just go and delete this one. Sorry, this one you don't need to generate any projects. You just delete. So go file, open, and go and find the second file is under new quartz. This one, the second folder, new quartz. Okay. So under new quartz, there is a project file there. So I want you to double click the new quartz file. Are you able to find the file?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Open the new quartz file. Open. Right. So basically, once you open, you will load the two arrow up there. So we just go and check the file. So we already have the geometry. So we will go ahead and double click the mesh. So open up the mesh program. So let me know you already loaded the mesh file. You're seeing something like what I see on the screen here. Let me know once you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, just a good practice. Every time you open a mesh, you go to the unit. And today we're going to use mm, kilogram, Newton, second, MV, and MA. Okay, unit, we're going to choose the third one, mm, for this example. Okay, you done for the unit?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the next one, we're going to mesh. Left click the mesh, and then you'll see the mesh object come out in the geometry window there. So what we need to do here is that, let's see what happened if we change the solver preference, this one, from CFX back to Flown. Let's see what happened. Okay, once you change the solver preference to Flown, and then you open up the sizing. So you can see that it will change to curvature automatic also. Now we want to change the curvature normal angle, this one. Curvature normal angle to 12. So key in 12 if you're not seeing the 12. My one, because I already done the exercise, so it already saved the previous steps. Okay, go to the sizing. Under sizing, curvature normal angle, change to 12. Have you done this one? Are you there? Let me know once you're done. Pratibha, are you there? Are you able to hear me?
So, okay, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So have you changed the curvature normal angle to 12?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next one, we're going to change the inflation. So go to inflation. And here we're going to uh, inflation, we're going to change to program control. Sorry, you see here. So we're going to program control. And then smooth transition. So basically, we're going to use inflation with program control and smooth transition for our inflation option. And then transition ratio below there. Transition ratio, we will use 0.272 by default, right? So again, every time we use program control, you need to check the name selection. So as long as it's not fall under this 4 selection, it will run through the setting that you set in inflation. Okay. Then every time you select the fluent,
Sir,
yes,
I have only 3 name selection. The wall don't have.
you roll down, don't have a.
Yes, sir, don't have.
Okay, never mind. Maybe I already do something on the file already. So as long as you understand what happened if you select program control in the inflation, it means that you will go and mesh outside these 3 or name selection here, all the surfaces outside this one according to what you set over here. Okay, that is the more important you understand this one. Okay, and then you set the transition ratio to 0.272. And after that, maximum layer change to 5. If we change these two number, 0.272 and 5. Okay, let me know you're already done because no feedback from your side. Okay, let me know once you completed these 2 settings. I'm not able to hear you. Or you're already done, you can just text me. I can see whether you're ready or not. Have you done? Have you done changing these 2 number? I cannot hear you. So, okay, good. All right, the next one, you go to the mesh up there. right click the mesh, and then you want you to preview inflation. Mesh, preview inflation. Okay. So my one is like this. So there are some setting that I already set now. So basically you should see the whole object. Let me see. Okay, go to tools, option, mechanical, graphic, both sides. Okay. All right. So you should be seeing the whole object. So I'm not sure why my one is showing this one. Are you seeing the same presentation like mine? No? Yes? Okay, might not working. So are you seeing the same presentation? Or you are a different one? You're seeing the whole object or what? Okay, you can see full object, right? Okay, let me reload the file. Maybe something wrong with my file already. Okay, give me 1 minute. I will reset the whole thing. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, I will redo the whole thing. I'll open the excuse me. I will open the project file as and go to mesh. Okay, I check my, yeah, like you say, I'm only seeing three this one. Okay, so I will start over. So go to unit, make sure in mm. Then after that, I'm going to click the mesh here, and then I go down. The solver preference, I choose fluent. Sizing, curvature, automatic. Then I roll down. I go to inflation, program control, and smooth transition is activated. And then transition ratio set to by default 0.272. And then after that, just bear in mind, if your solver choose Fluent, automatic default number is 0.272 by ANSYS, already set by default. Then you go to layer, maximum layer here. Okay, maximum layer. Maximum layer I'll change to 5. Means inflation, I will make sure that the inflation was limited to 5 layer. After I set this one, I go to the mesh, right click, and then I go to preview inflation. So you are getting the same window as mine. So you can see that because we're using a Fluent solver, the mesh process use is we use a layer compression method for collision avoidance. All right. So there's a function when you use Fluent, and you go ahead and when you look at the inflation here, smooth transition and all this, if you set Fluent, you automatic in the background calculation, you will use a method called layer compression to solve the collision problems. If there are any collision, then you will avoid the problems. Okay, so you see what mean by the compressed region. You zoom in this area. Zoom in this area. So you see, if you this is the like a compression. This one you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5-layer of inflation that you limit just now. Okay, so these surfaces, it was limited to 5 layers that you set just now. Okay, then after that, we already zoom in. Then we want to clear this window. And what else? If you zoom in, all these side also same. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see the cross section of the body here also 5 layer. Other side also 5 layer. So this is how you check whether the setting is being done by the mesh machine. Okay, the next one we're going to clear the mesh. So you go to mesh here. We're going to clear the we're going to clear generated data. Click this one, clear generated data. It will ask you whether you want to clear all mesh. Answer yes. So you will get back an empty file, start from the beginning. So this is how you clear the mesh. If you don't like the mesh, you just go ahead and right click and then clear generated data. The next one, you're going to look at what happened if you use a Cfx Mesh Solver. So you just again click the mesh and then go to the property here. You want to choose the solver present to Cfx. Change this one to Cfx. Okay, change this one to Cfx. You will see that if you roll down, you see that some number were changing, especially inflation. Just now, your transition ratio is 0.272. Now it increased to 0.77. So you automatic increase the transition ratio if you change the solver type. Okay, so just remember how you know someone is using CFS, some is someone using Fluent solver. So you go ahead and check the transition ratio. So if the transition ratio number is 0.77, then the user, the researcher is using CFS solver. So if the researcher using Fluent, then this number will change to 0.272 just now. Okay, then go ahead and right click mesh and generate mesh. And then you zoom in this region again. Do you see the differences between the previous example that you see? Just now you see 5 layer, right? Now no more 5 layer. It will just go ahead and mesh according to the topography. There's no 5-layer inflation here. Do you see it? Yeah. Do you see it? So you go for a few more steps here. You just follow. So go ahead and zoom out a little bit. So go ahead and click the zoom to fit. This one, okay. And then we clear all the mesh data. Right click, clear generated data. It will ask you again, you do want to clear all the mesh data, click yes. Right, now we're going to see what happens if we use program control for our inflation scope for all the faces here. Let's say you want to use the program to help us to mesh the name selection. But how do we do it? So rotate your body according to my window here. Rotate your body in this orientation. Then go ahead and select faces selection, activate faces selection. We're going to select 8 faces. We're going to select 8 faces on this body. However, we're going to select 6 first. We're going to select 10 surfaces. We're going to select 8 faces first. So I'm going to select 8 faces. So I'm going to select for you. So hold down the control key again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Once you select these 8 surfaces, I want you to rotate the object to the back. Rotate the object to the back here. Okay. Then I want you to do some. I want you to show some setting. So you go to the graphic. You go to the view. You go to the view. Under view, you go to graphic option. View, graphic option. Then you go to draw face mode. This one. So you have three options here. So you have 3 options. The first one is automatic face draw. Second one is draw front faces. The third one is draw both faces. For this example, we want to use the draw front faces. Mean we only want to see front faces only. Okay, click the draw front faces. Okay, hold on there. So I'll repeat again. Let's say I already view, graphic option, draw faces mode. Make sure you change it to draw front faces. And then I want you to click 2 faces on the diagram here. 1. Yeah, maybe this face is enough. Okay. Okay, let me see whether I'm doing the correct one. Oh, we need to correct another 2 faces. So one is these faces that you see on the screen here. Another one is the surfaces here. This one, oops, sorry. You need to press the control key. This one, and this one. 3 faces. Okay, these 3 green color surfaces. Make sure you select these 3. Oh, sorry. Let me go back again. Because the 6 surfaces already gone already. The faces already gone. So I need to reselect all the faces. So I do it one more time. So I go to view. I go to graphic option, draw face mode. I change to auto face draw. I select the faces first. Control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I rotate the object. Then I go in view, graphic option, draw face mode, draw front faces. I hold down the control key. I select this one. Okay. Something wrong with my setting. View. Graphic option, draw faces, correct. Okay. Then after that, I will select 3 surfaces here. I'm not seeing the effect that I want. Let me check. faces. Okay, click these two faces. 1, 2. Sorry, something wrong with my setting. I do it one more time. View, graphic option, draw faces, auto. 1, 2. Then I will click view, graphic option, draw front faces. Hold on, something wrong with my solver. Anyway, let us try to click the surfaces. 1. Yeah, this is what we want. No, this is not what we want. Okay, we want to select all these faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me do it one more time. Or maybe I do it like this. 1, 2, 3. Then I want to select the two faces here. View, graphic option, draw face, draw front faces, right click, this one, this one, this one. Okay, hope it works. Right click and then go to name selection. We're going to name this one as wall, although it's not what I expected, but we try to name as wall, then click OK. Seems a little bit weird, but it's fine. It's still able to show you the results. Okay, then you go and click the mesh, and then we're going to change it to fluent and then see what happens. Yeah. So go ahead and solver preference here. We're going to change it to fluent. Then after that, we're going to inflation. Go down inflation. So in the automatic inflation here, if you drop down, there's another option activated, which is called all faces in the chosen name. Let me expand the window. So if you expand this one, oops, so no, it's in the use automatic inflation. You drop down, so you can choose ask the computer to focus on the name selection in this time rather than other area. So you go to automatic inflation, you go and select all faces in the chosen name selection, this one. Then it will ask you to select what? The red color, yellow color will come out. So the name selection here, you will drop down and select wall, the surface that you just selected just now. Meaning you ask the solver to focus on the name selection wall area and run using the setting that you set inside the inflation setting here. Meaning you ask the computer, the mesh solver, to focus on the wall and use fluent setting, fluent solver to solve the meshing for you. Then after that, in the inflation option here, we want to change the smooth transition into total thickness. And then once you change the total thickness, of course, it will ask you to key in some value. Maximum thickness here is empty. So it will ask you to put in what is the maximum thickness you want. For this illustration, we key in 5. So meaning 5 layer of your setting. So in this one is 5 mm. Okay. Then after that, once you do all this setting, what you do, you go to mesh and generate mesh. So if you zoom in the area of the neck here, you'll see we are seeing the 5 layer for the area that we selected just now. Okay, so the wall, you see the wall that we select here and here. You see all the wall is having 5 layer that we set just now. So this is how we ask the computer to purposely focus on the layer that is highlighted just now. Okay, and maybe one more. We clear the mesh data again. Let us rotate the object and then we clear the mesh. Clear generated data. It will ask you again whether you want to clear. Click yes. You will see an empty template in the geometry window there. Now we see what happened if we go ahead and set the scope inflation. What is a scope inflation can help you to generate accurate data. So what you do, you go to the mesh there, and then make sure you are having a selection. You go to the top there, make sure you're selecting a body. Now we want to ask the computer, let's say we are lazy, we're lazy, we don't want to do so many settings. We just ask the computer to just go ahead and process it as a one body. Just now we go and select here and there to specific adjust. Now we are a bit lazy, so we go and ask the computer to look at one body itself. Okay, so once you click the body selection, what you do, you go to the geometry there, click the body. Then you, in the geometry there, you right click. Then there's an insert button there. Right click, insert, there's an inflation function that you can insert. Press inflation, something will change to your property window. Call it inflation, window will come up on the left hand side. And then there's a yellow line come out, boundary highlighted body there. Okay, so in this boundary scope method here, is automatic. You'll use geometry selection. We don't want to use geometry selection. We want to use name selection. So change this one to name selection. Then in the boundary here, we will drop down to focus on wall. The wall area that we select just now. Okay, so once you selected the wall, meaning you go to the boundary scope method, you change to name selection. After that, you go boundary, drop down and choose wall. And then you go to inflation option here. We don't want to use the total thickness anymore. We change to last aspect ratio. Change this one, last aspect ratio. And then it will ask you, the first height layer is what? So in this example, we will tell the computer, we will start with the first layer 0.5 mm. So we just ask the computer, you do what you do, then as long as the first layer start with 0.5. Okay, it doesn't care lah. So as long as you generate 5 layer for me, first layer you start with 0.5. Then you adjust lah accordingly to the setting that you see in the window here, and then you ask the mesh engine to help you. After you're done 0.5, then you click the mesh, this one. Okay, you click the mesh to return to the setting. Then after that, you, in the window here, we want to change the solver preference here. We don't want to use Fluent, we use Cfx. Then use automatic inflation there. There is an inflation setting, you go to inflation. Okay, use automatic inflation, this one. We will close the automatic inflation. Select none. We don't want to use automatic inflation. Then go ahead and go to mesh here, right click. There's a preview. Right click, go to mesh, right click, preview, and look at the inflation. It will generate inflation for you to look at. So you'll see inside here is all the inflation that you selected. So this is the generated file, mesh profile that you will get according to your setting. Okay. All right. So this is how you get it. Okay, right click, generate mesh again. Okay, so this is how you control the inflation, right? All right, so you can save this file and then we have a short break. Then we come back to the example number 3 and example number 4. Okay, I'll stop this recording.